It's been going on for more than 2,000 years. What am I talking about? I'm talking about people who have been going to church or even going to their knees to ask Jesus to be Lord and Savior of their life. Well, tonight, we're going to ask the big questions. Why did you do it? Why did you believe? And do you still believe in Him? So please, welcome my first guest, Roy Black. Roy, sit down, please. Roy, so what's your story? How did you get saved?
Well, I grew up in the church, went to Sunday school, always listened but never really believed until one day in college. It was the big day of the anatomy final. I didn't study. So I got down on my knees and I told God, if you help me pass that test, I will give you my life and even go to the mission field.
Wow, so what happened? Did you pass the test?
Yeah, I passed it all right. Next thing I know, I'm on my way to Africa to deliver medical exams to people. That's not what I had in mind. I wanted to be a plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills. Is that so wrong?
Well, I'll leave that between you and God. Let's bring out our next guest, Miss Emma Brown. Welcome to the show, Emma. Sit down, please. Emma, tell us, why did you become a Christian?
Well, I was never really interested in going to church. I didn't grow up in the church, and I never really wanted to go until one time I went with my friend Caroline, and I met this guy, Gabe. He was such a sweetie. And from the moment I saw him, I knew that we were going to have the most beautiful children together. But Gabe was a devout Christian. And since he would only date other Christian girls, I knew that God was just wanting me to accept him as my Savior so that we could hook up.
So you accepted Christ, and how did things go with Gabe?
Well, one day we went to a coffee shop to talk about the Bible, and Gabe leaned over and asked me if he could ask me a question. I told him he could ask me anything he wanted. Whew.
So, what did he ask you?
He wanted to know if Caroline liked him back, the moron.
So, you accepted Christ for a guy you never even got?
Yeah, well, Caroline told me Gabe's not the right guy, that God has somebody better in mind. Unfortunately, he's taken his dear sweet time introducing us. I mean, I've done my part, haven't I?
True enough. Well, thank you, Emma, for your candor. Very much appreciated. Let's bring out our next guest, Bob Torves. Bob, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
Have a seat, please.
Thank you, thank you.
Bob, it says here you've been a Christian for 2 years. Why did you do it?
Well, one day I was at an Office Depot, and I saw that rack of those little inspirational books that they have. And there was a couple there, looked through the titles, like, you know, Who Cut the Cheese, and The 7 Habits of Dwarves, or something like that. Anyway, I saw this little book, and it was called The Prayer of J-Rez, Jeebus, something like that. Well, I took a look at it, and wow, was I inspired. I mean, it was just amazing. That God was going to bless me if I just said this one little prayer.
So you went for the blessings, huh?
Absolutely.
And God has blessed you, right?
Absolutely not. Well, you know, unless you count all these people, you know, they're looking for this rich guy who happens to join their church. You know, it seems every two-bit ministry wants some of my money.
Well, did you give them any money?
You know, I get the 10% that the church tells me and, you know, that the Bible tells me. You know, I haven't seen a penny of a return yet. Well, you know, except around tax time in April. Yeah.
Fascinating. Well, let's bring out our next guest, Hannah Spencer. tell us your story.
Well, I wasn't raised in church, but my grandmother, she was a strong believer. I loved her a lot, and we were really close. Then she got sick. She wound up in the hospital. She taught me to have faith. She led me to pray and to accept Christ myself. The very next day she died. I lost all faith.
But she left her faith with you, right?
Not at all. When she died, my faith left too. She believed God was going to heal her and she would leave. I can't believe in God like that.
Wow. That sounds like some real pain in that story. Well, let's bring out our final guest, Angela Hart. Angela, we've heard some amazing stories today. Please, tell us your story.
Well, there's nothing really amazing about it. I got saved when I was in middle school. I knew of God, but I didn't really know that much about Him until I started going to Bible study.
Let me guess. The boy leading it was hot?
No. He was a nice guy, but that wasn't the reason I went. At first I went mainly out of curiosity. But then, the more I knew about God, the more I wanted to know Him.
So you went for the blessings, right?
No.
He helped you pass a test.
No, not at all. It's not what I could get from God. It was just who He was. I mean, He's my creator who loves me despite all my failures. He died on the cross for me. How can I respond to that any other way but to give Him my life?
So you didn't do it for the blessings?
No.
You didn't want anything out of it? You just believed because of who He is?
I did.
You're going to feel awfully stupid if you get nothing in return.
Nothing. He gave me a relationship with Himself. What more could I ask for?